This is Monday the 5th of August 2024. It's late afternoon. My Mill and I have come back from a lovely visit to Kew Gardens again. Today we went on the tour around the Kew Gardens kitchens that was once connected to the historic Royal Palace. Today it's used as offices for their general admin and scientific work undertaken at the gardens. It was interesting to see all the kitchens and how they used to operate. They were kept separate from the main building because of fire risk and also, say, smoke and fumes and heat. And apparently there's evidence that King George III may have received treatment upstairs in the kitchens. There's a large tin bath that's been brought down from the upper floors, and it's believed that they treated him with hot and cold water baths away from the main palace, where he may have upset staff and his family because some of the treatments he had for his madness were very painful. I've had some hay fever, and yesterday and today I did have to take an antihistamine tablet in the end. The pollen count is very high and is forecast to last at least a week, and the main culprit at the moment is nettles and certain grasses and wildflowers, but it's the nettles that is the worst at the moment. Of course that can change. You've still got some tree pollen, you've got a lot of grasses as well, especially anywhere where there's a lot of vegetation, like say Kew Gardens or say your park or the woods or other outdoor spaces. Yesterday there was a powerful KP7 strong 3 geomagnetic storm. You may have had symptoms such as worsened allergies such as hay fever, or you may feel lethargy or tiredness. You can have headaches or aches and pains. You might experience migraines or a poorly tummy or a variety of other physical symptoms. You might also feel anxious or depressed, and those too are symptoms. It's so noisy here. I'm having trouble recording this because the drills are going on outside. There's some major work that's been going on for a while, and I'm pretty sure it exceeds the decibels allowed for an urban area. I've just looked on the Facebook group, The Schumann Resonance with Marguerite, and there's been an announcement to say that we've experienced today an X 1.73 solar flare, which is really strong. That's stronger than an M. And apparently since yesterday evening there's been something of a stock market crash. It started in Japan and South Korea and the rest of the Asia Pacific, and I've just seen a notification from Rumble that mentions the stock market crash. I haven't read it fully, but in the headline it alludes to the United States. It hasn't come out in the mainstream media so far today, but it may be suppressed. It's a good job in a way that it hasn't been publicised to a great degree, because especially in the UK, although there's instances worldwide, there have been terrible riots going on for a few days now, and people are already angry and afraid and worried about the state of the country and the way it's being run. and the way, in fact, governments in general are being run, of course, sooner or later it's going to come out. I think it will happen at the right time. The universe has its ways of working that none of us understand fully or are meant to understand, but everything is to do with divine timing. Things are not good though here with the PM. A lot of people, even those who voted for him, are not happy with the way he's handling the violence, and he needs to get a grip and try and bring about unification rather than just blaming others and for calling the majority of the population right wing rather than taking responsibility for his actions and those of others within his government. He's made some pretty inflammatory generalisations which has really upset people, when really he should be trying to unify us all and see things from a wider perspective. If he doesn't get a grip, it's not going to end well for him. And actually, I do hope he does get a grip and can take us forward in a more positive way. I really think he's a bit out of his depth. So let us put out positive vibes that he gets things under control and we can get back to a more peaceful footing. I am trying to stay away from social media as much as possible. It's quite an unpleasant place to be right now, and I think for the sake of my sanity, and I think for the sake of people as a whole, it's best if we limit our use of social media if we feel it's getting too much for us, because it will only bring us down, and we need to keep our vibrations as high as possible in order to seek and maintain those higher timelines, which will come about through being positive and open-minded and willingness to keep an open mind and look for positive outcomes rather than dwelling on chaos and disturbance and violence. I'm going to maybe have a little bit of a rest, and then tonight Mill and I are going to have a healthy supper. We have tuna salad, and then I will probably have an early night and see what tomorrow brings. This is Tuesday the 6th of August 2024. Yesterday evening, my Mill and I walked down to Kew Green and found the new Banksy. Which depicts a mountain goat standing on a precipice. Presumably this could indicate either humanity or the PM himself, and things are a bit precarious. The mountain goat isn't afraid, but is on a bit of shaky ground. That could certainly be applied to humanity as well, with everything that's going on. We got back just after 8 and had pudding. I decided to have an early night and had a last look at the news on my mobile phone and found out there had been riots in Birmingham. So it continues, but the police weren't doing anything. Really, what a show really is. Now, I'm under the belief that in the case of a constitutional crisis, the monarch can dissolve Parliament. Wow, was broadcast on television and said that he was hoping that everyone could unite and to call for peace and unity and reassure and calm people. Even if he was looking rough in the middle of his cancer treatment, then that would hold up really well with people. And bearing in mind that we've won loads of medals this time at the Paris Olympics, it seems really sad that all the trouble that's been going on in the UK has overshadowed the amazing wins by the British team. It would also provide really good spin were King Charles to do this. It's a difficult one. We're in chaos and we're approaching the height of the Lionsgate portal, which is on the 8th of the 8th, and it's going to be quite an angsty one this time. A powerful one because more people than ever awake will be walking through the portal for the first time, but it's a very precarious one indeed. Anyhow, I had a good night's sleep last night and I took my remedy as usual this morning, and I took my second weekly tablet of the Aquamarine Crystal Remedy 100C. I have been taking antihistamine for the last 2 to 3 days because I've been rather bothered by hay fever on account of a high pollen count. But apart from that, I'm absolutely fine. I'm not quite back up to the previous energies I was at before I was on the phosphorus, but I'm getting there. Today, my mother and I walked over to Orleans House Museum to see an exhibition and have a general look round, so we had a really good walk. We were out for over 2 hours and there was a piano that anyone could play, and I managed to conquer my phobia of playing in public. I played Nocien 1 by Satie without the sheet music. I mean, I did make some mistakes because I was shitting myself, but I did it, and that's a real hurdle I've actually overcome. I'm with Dan now. We're driving back to Ramsgate. We're going to be stopping off soon for a Wetherspoons, and I am so looking forward to seeing our 3 fur babies. Hello everybody, this is Thursday the 8th of August 2024 and it's the Lionsgate portal open at its maximum, and it will stay open for another week or so. This of course is a rather unpredictable one this year. It's very strong but very unpredictable. The riots are still going on across the country. Last night Sky News announced there were over 100 far right riots planned. The thing is, I know somebody who was in North Finchley last night and he could find hardly any far right people. Make of that therefore what you will. The media spin, the media tell tales, and they do it to cause division and fear and discord among people. We really need to come together now. It's farcical, and people across the world are genuinely feeling sorry for the British people and the way they're being treated by what appears increasingly like a Stasi government. Often when government or elites lose control, the democracy, or what's left of it, quickly disappears. However, what it leads to is usually the end, because people don't take it lightly and people can see what's going on more than ever. Now, the British are known for being stoic and law-abiding, and they take things on the chin and button up and carry on. If this had happened in France, rioting would have taken place a long time ago, and were things in a position as they are in the UK, just about everything would have been burnt, including government buildings. But the British are usually cool, calm and collected, but now I must say that people have come to the end of the tether, because it's ordinary people as well who are concerned about the country and about democracy and about just what's happening with their livelihoods and a whole host of other things, who are generally concerned about the future, who are being labelled far right when really they just don't go along with the narrative that's being fed to them anymore. I hope that the PM can see it in himself to change his narrative and to see things through the eyes of those he is supposed to be representing, which is us, the British people, and be a little bit more understanding and encourage us all to unify. But in any case, we need to be unifying instead of fighting each other. People over the last few years have been conditioned to increasingly fight each other. We're all being played off against each other by governments and the media, and we need to be coming together now and standing up for each other and to restore democracy and bring peace and calm back to the nation. Today I have been to have my hair done and I'm really pleased with it. I've been cooking this afternoon. It's been very hot this morning. Now the wind is getting up a bit. I think we might have some rain or maybe a storm later. It felt a bit stormy last night, but nothing came of it. I've been doing some food vlogging as well, and I picked some more beetroot. The beetroot are doing really well, though some of the things in our garden are doing less so. And I'm going now to bake some bread and hope that everybody has a more peaceful evening today. Today is Sunday the 11th of August 2024. It's the Broadstairs Folk Week on until next weekend. Dan and I have spent today though down at the Petticoat Lane Emporium making 2 pitches into one. I officially relinquish 11 Coventry Street pitch next Friday, but today we managed to accommodate most of the things onto 6 Oxford and have left just a few things for Bev to collect and take home with her, at least for a while. We had to do the same with some of ours. We weren't able to get absolutely everything on, but we managed to accommodate most of the things and it looks really good. I treated Dan to lunch at the Emporium. I had a veggie breakfast and Dan had the normal all-day breakfast. We came home and dropped everything off, put everything in the spare room. We need to go through it. We are trying to declutter at the moment, and undoubtedly we'll be going to a car boot sale in the next few weeks and maybe a craft fair for the autumn season on the run up to Christmas. There are things that I don't want to sell for absolutely nothing on eBay. We were talking to one of the ladies on the pitch opposite us. The lady who sold me the beautiful, very bougie chandelier that we've got, and she was also berating the cost of selling things on eBay. So we put the world to rights a little bit. This afternoon, Dan got me a Too Good To Go veggie carvery trimmings box on the Too Good To Go app from the garden centre, and that will be my supper tomorrow because Dan's not eating at home tomorrow night. And it's absolutely full. It costs £2.75. There's like a Yorkie, there's gravy, there's mashed potato, carrots, stuffing. It's wonderful. I'm really looking forward to eating it. It smells delicious, especially the cauliflower cheese element of it. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait. So I'll be reviewing that for my other channel, Cat Evans Cuisine. It's the first time we've tried the garden centre. £2.75, it's absolutely nothing. And I swear there's probably more than I can possibly eat. Some of it might get served up on Tuesday evening with whatever we're having for supper. If the weather stays nice, I may well cook fish paella for supper on Tuesday because I can do that on the hob. Tonight we're having burgers, my homemade rolls, and a nice salad. Also some leftover new potatoes, which I'm going to saute in a pan on the barbecue as well. Really looking forward to my supper tonight. We've been to the local pub, Racing Greyhound, for a glass of wine. Dan had a gin and tonic. And now we're back at home and the cats have eaten. I have been on 2 bangs, 2 drops in the morning and 1 bang, 1 drop in the evening of my remedy for the last few days. And tomorrow I'm going to up it to 2 bangs, 2 drops twice a day. Also tomorrow is my Aquamarine 100C day as well. I'm doing really well on this remedy. Just as I was before I was on the phosphorus, really well. I've had no problems whatsoever with it. I'm so pleased. And the rest of the evening, I'm just going to spend pootling around. I'm currently editing a Blackpool regeneration video. It's a little lengthy, but not too much so. I've actually created quite a lot of content this weekend, which I have to edit. In general, I have a lot of material and cannot work fast enough. But it's so much better since I started putting the date the video was taken in the bottom left-hand corner. It takes the pressure off, psychologically at least. I've had a busy weekend in general doing admin for my self-assessment tax returns and doing some stuff for Dan as well. I also played the piano yesterday, which I'm really enjoying. I'm trying a new piece. I'm learning the Glasgow theme from Love Actually, and I'm still playing Philip Glass, and I'm really enjoying doing that. I haven't played any gong music this week. I'm still writing a piece. I'm hoping to get back to it this week. I've got a new manuscript notebook now, a spiral bound one, which has lines on the reverse side just for writing notes. So I'm going to be going over what I've already written in more finite detail with the kind of beaters I'm using and that sort of thing. And then I will continue writing the piece. I banged the gong last night though to raise the energy. I love the vibrations from a gong. It's so uplifting. And then we will see what the next few days brings. But the other good news is I have now hit 50 subscribers which is amazing, and I'm about to do a video of shout outs. So I'll see you again soon. Bye.